Some fans literally zoned out mid-fight to question why Sukuna had so much beef with a 15-year-old Yuji. That's the question we uncover in today's video. You know, Yuji could literally hit him with Gojo's hollow purple, and Sukuna would say, "Nah, now we're copying people too. You suck, Yuji." It's not just that Sukuna is the biggest hater in JJK, it's that his hatred runs deep and complex. His contempt isn't merely rooted in Yuji's interference with his plans, but also in the sheer contradiction Yuji represents to Sukuna's worldview. First up, let's talk about the age thing. Imagine being one of the most powerful sorcerers in history, waking up after thousands of years, only to find yourself beefing with a 16-year-old kid. Sukuna's like, wait a minute, am I really beefing with a 16-year-old? Is it even worth it? This man's ego is getting bruised by a teenager and he can't even handle it. Like, bro, you've got centuries of experience and you're losing your cool over a kid who probably just got his driver's permit. It's hilarious and sad at the same time. It's like seeing a seasoned pro basketball player get schooled by a high schooler. Embarrassing and maddening. Sukuna's pride takes a hit every time Yuji stands up to him, making him question his own status and power. This age factor isn't just funny, it's a serious blow to Sukuna's self-esteem, making his hatred for Yuji even more intense. Now let's get into why Sukuna hates understanding Yuji's resolve. Because Sukuna was stuck inside Yuji as his vessel, he completely gets where Yuji's coming from, and that pisses him off. Sukuna's like, I've faced dozens of people like you, Yuji, but I could always just not give a damn about them. But with Yuji, he can't do that. He's seen Yuji at his lowest and knows this kid will keep rising no matter how much Sukuna tries to break him. It's like Yuji's resolve is living rent-free in Sukuna's head, and he hates every second of it. Being in Yuji's head meant witnessing all his struggles and triumphs firsthand, and that's something Sukuna can't just ignore. It's one thing to hate someone from a distance, but being forced to understand them on a deep, personal level, that's a whole new level of frustration for Sukuna. This situation is like being trapped in a reality show where you're forced to empathize with your least favorite contestant. Every time Yuji bounces back from a setback, it's a slap in the face to Sukuna, who prides himself on breaking people. He's used to seeing people give up when faced with overwhelming odds, but Yuji's unyielding spirit is a constant reminder that Sukuna's usual tactics aren't working. This relentless determination grates on Sukuna's nerves, making him despise Yuji even more. It's a unique kind of torture for someone like Sukuna who thrives on domination and fear. To be met with such stubborn resilience, Sukuna's got another big issue: Yuji's strength of will. Even though Yuji is way weaker, he stands up to Sukuna, and that makes Sukuna furious. To Sukuna, the weak are supposed to accept their suffering and just roll over. But Yuji, nah, he's built different. He keeps fighting back, and that messes with Sukuna's whole view of the world. It's like, why does this kid, who should be nothing to me, have such a strong will? It's a total mindfuck for Sukuna. In Sukuna's eyes, strength is the ultimate measure of worth, and Yuji's defiance challenges this belief at its core. It's as if the natural order Sukuna believes in is being turned upside down and he can't stand it. Yuji's refusal to bow down is a constant source of irritation for Sukuna. Every time Yuji defies him, it's like a crack forming in Sukuna's worldview. He's spent centuries believing that might makes right. And here comes Yuji, proving that there's more to being strong than just physical power. This contradiction is more than just annoying. It's deeply unsettling for someone like Sukuna, who thrives on clear hierarchies and absolute power. Yuji's strength of will isn't just a challenge. It's a threat to everything Sukuna stands for, making his hatred all the more intense. Sukuna's all about that strength hierarchy. He believes if you're strong, you're on top, and that's it. When he found out Gojo answers to people weaker than him, Sukuna was like, that's some bullshit. So Yuji, being able to challenge Sukuna with just his willpower, throws Sukuna's whole belief system out the window. It's like Yuji is saying, I don't care how strong you are, I'm still gonna stand up to you. And Sukuna just can't handle it. This goes against everything Sukuna believes in, and it drives him nuts. For Sukuna, power should be the ultimate decider, and anyone without it should know their place. Yuji's defiance is like a constant reminder that his worldview is flawed. Every time Yuji stands his ground, it's a direct challenge to Sukuna's belief in strength as the only currency that matters. It's like seeing a kid from the slums defy a king in his own castle. Unthinkable and infuriating. This isn't just a fight for dominance, it's a battle for validation of Sukuna's entire existence. The fact that Yuji, with his comparatively meager power, can still defy him shakes Sukuna to his core. It's not just about winning or losing, it's about proving that his understanding of the world is the right one. Yuji's constant defiance feels like a relentless attack on the very principles Sukuna has built his life around. And let's not forget Sukuna had to sit back and watch Yuji's daily life. He's got every single one of Yuji's memories and he understands Yuji more than anyone else. But he didn't choose this. Imagine being stuck in someone's head, seeing everything they do and not being able to do anything about it. It's like being forced to watch the most boring reality show ever. Sukuna didn't sign up for this, and it drives him up the wall. This forced coexistence is more than just an inconvenience. It's a prison for Sukuna, who who thrives on control and autonomy. Being trapped in Yuji's head, unable to exert his own will, is a nightmare for him. Think about it. Sukuna, the king of curses, reduced to a backseat passenger in a teenager's life. Every mundane moment, every struggle, every victory, Sukuna has to witness it all without being able to change a thing. It's like being in a cage where the bars are made of someone else's experiences. This constant exposure to Yuji's life isn't just annoying, it's a form of torture. Sukuna's used to being the one in control, and this powerless observation of Yuji's life is a constant reminder of his current limitations. It's no wonder he's seething with hatred. He's been forced into a role that's completely antithetical to his nature. Sukuna's purpose in life is simple: have fun, do what he wants, no morals, no values, just eat, fight, and mess shit up. But then he wakes up in the body of a kid who's all about morals and values. Yuji's got this sense of duty that makes him the worst possible host for Sukuna. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Sukuna's like, I just want to have fun and cause chaos. But Yuji's values make that impossible, and it's infuriating. This clash of purposes isn't just inconvenient, it's fundamentally incompatible. Sukuna's hedonistic, chaotic nature is constantly at odds with Yuji's disciplined, value-driven approach to life. Here's the thing. Yuji is actually one of the most talented sorcerers of his generation. Normally, Sukuna would see that and think, let's push this kid to his limits and then take him out. But because it's Yuji, Sukuna just can't. He throws all that potential out the window and looks at Yuji with nothing but spite and disdain. Every time Yuji stands in his way, Sukuna's first instinct is to try to kill him. It's like he can't see past his own hatred. This isn't just about rivalry, it's about deep-seated animosity that blinds Sukuna to Yuji's potential. He's so focused on his hatred that he can't even acknowledge the talent that he'd normally find impressive. Imagine having someone right in front of you who embodies everything you despise, yet they're also everything you'd normally admire. That's Yuji for Sukuna. He's got raw talent and potential that any other sorcerer would die for. But Sukuna's overwhelming hatred makes him ignore all that. It's like having a diamond in your hand but hating it because it's attached to someone you despise. This blind hatred is a testament to how deeply Yuji gets under Sukuna's skin. It's not just a clash of sorcerers, it's a personal vendetta that eclipses all logic and reason. Let's talk about Sukuna's reflexive hating. The only times he ever smiles in front of Yuji are when he's either impressed by something Yuji does, which is rare, when Yuji is mad, when he's making fun of Yuji, or when he's planning to hurt him. Sukuna is the biggest hater in JJK, and it shows. It's like he's got this instinctual need to put Yuji down at every turn. This isn't just about rivalry or competition. It's a deep-seated need to belittle and undermine Yuji whenever possible. Sukuna's hatred is almost reflexive, kicking in whenever Yuji is around. Every interaction with Yuji is an opportunity for Sukuna to express his disdain. Whether it's through sarcasm, insults, or outright violence, Sukuna's hatred is a constant presence. It's not just about winning fights. It's about asserting his superiority in every way possible. Sukuna's need to put Yuji down goes beyond typical villain behavior. It's personal. This reflexive hatred is a testament to how much Yuji gets under his skin. It's like Sukuna can't help but react negatively to everything Yuji does, highlighting just how deep this animosity runs. Being fused with Yuji might have rubbed off on Sukuna. Maybe he's had a taste of a life he never knew through Yuji, and that's what bothers him so much. It's like Yuji has shown him a different perspective, and it's shaken his worldview. Sukuna hates feeling uncomfortable, and Yuji makes him feel that way all the time. This isn't just about physical presence, it's about psychological impact. Being inside Yuji's head has forced Sukuna to confront aspects of life he'd never considered, and that's a source of constant irritation and discomfort for him. Think about it. Sukuna, the king of curses, exposed to the everyday struggles and triumphs of a teenager with a strong moral compass. It's like being forced to watch a reality show that challenges everything you believe in. This constant exposure to Yuji's perspective has likely made Sukuna question his own beliefs, even if he'd never admit it. The psychological impact of this forced coexistence can't be underestimated. It's not just about sharing a body, it's about being forced to empathize with someone you hate. This constant, low-level psychological warfare is another reason Sukuna's hatred for Yuji runs so deep. So there you have it. Sukuna's deep-rooted hatred for Yuji is more than just him being a hater. It's a complex mix of jealousy, frustration, and contradiction. Sukuna's whole worldview is challenged by this kid who refuses to back down, and it drives him crazy. In the end, it's this dynamic that makes their relationship so interesting and intense. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more JJK breakdowns.